So, what I'm doing, welcome back to the second video of Dual Gear. What I'm doing with this particular video, I want to replay the second mission, but I'll be skipping dialogue. Because a couple of days ago, I recorded a second video for this particular game, but the third mission wound up taking too long because of a certain type of boss showed up, and it wasn't really too clear how I needed to defeat this particular boss enemy, but I actually did finish the mission, and that third mission is actually the end of the what is it? I guess the word was early release or early look, whatever. It's a demo. Damn it. So what I did was try to redo that battle, and I noticed that one of the enemies is placed in a position where he cannot be damaged by any other type of weaponry except by the vertical missiles. Horizontal missiles don't work because this enemy character is on top of the geometry, and the geometry doesn't allow you to clip through it to damage that said enemy unit, thus putting my video in a standstill. The weird thing about it is that this happened 3 times when I replayed that mission, and I noticed that basically what I needed to do was hit a character with the vertical missile weaponry, and that's exactly what I did. However, being the fact that in this game everything costs, including upgrading your parts, so the game is fully customizable. You can upgrade your parts as you go, but it costs. So what I wound up doing was replaying missions over and over and over and over again, and upgrading different weapons. I also bought different weapons for the characters, did a couple of pieces. I can tell the difference between my units because in the beginning of the game, all of the units are the same color. So it was kind of hard trying to navigate which units to use, which units I was using. So most of the characters have missile launchers. Some of them have 2, this one here, the green one, having 2 missile launchers. That was actually a mistake because, again, the user interface for the game tends to be a little small. It's a little hard to navigate through the menu when the text is so small and the option menus are small. I think what the developers of this game have to do is go back and not only resize a lot of the character windows and text windows, but they also have to recolor them so that the words don't blend into the background, because as you can see, the text window is blue, but sometimes the camera moves towards the sky, which is also light blue, and you can't see white on light blue. But enough of complaining about that part. Sometimes if you move your unit like from this, oh wow, that's weird. Whatever. So, the fact that we're so advanced, I'm gonna have each character destroy 2 enemies and then switch over because one of one of the enemies, well, I mean, one of the characters' units, what am I saying? The characters' units all have different, this thing in the back, they all have different types of backpacks. And these backpacks are basically the power cells for these units. And they allow you to use more GP gauge so you can move around and still have enough gauge. And I destroyed 3 enemies. Enough gauge to attack. And I don't know why each and every character had different ones, especially when some of the characters had different types of weaponry, so it only allowed them to only move once per battle. I mean, once per move, that is. So, a lot of grinding, and also upgrading as well. They all have the same types of power supply, so that allows them to do multiple moves. However, what looks a little strange is that it's not only the power supply, but some of the characters need different arm pieces, arm parts, that's going to allow them to take full advantage of the your power pack. So I can still keep on moving, but again, one character can basically take out the first wave of enemies. But I want to show off. Some of the new moves, like this double strike. I gave this character 2 submachine guns. So most of these battles will be going fast now that we have certain skills. Our turn is officially over. Funny thing is that the characters have 2 different, in this game, there's 2 different types, there are 3 different types of submachine guns, but only 2 types of shotguns. The shotgun I'm using is a double-barrel shotgun, so it allows for 2 shots. Let's use... I was trying to get the other one, but I was positioned the wrong way, so it's alright. So I gave most of the characters 2 weapons. And I'm starting to learn how to navigate with this camera. I mean, this game, the movement in cameras when I use dash. So this is the vertical slice. Let's see how this works. Right. Here comes the second wave of enemies. Yep, there's one more. Somehow. Not sure why there's a second enemy, but final enemy. What the hell is it? Oh, it's right here? How did I miss this? Just shoot him with a missile. Get it over with. Now here comes the second wave. But it's only, I think, 2 units for the second wave. There's only 2 units, and then the third wave then the third wave show up after this. So, let's see, regular guns. Actually, you know what, let's aim at 2. That was aimed too low, so sometimes you actually have to be directly on target. Otherwise, you'll either do minimum or max damage, depending on. But in this particular third mission, this character, which is on this map, on this side, there's an enemy on the other side of this map. Okay, it's the right side, and this copper wire, that's this copper part here, that's brown, that looks like it's going across on the water. The second wave enemy spawns on top, and for some reason you just can't. It doesn't move. It aims only. It fires from above, and you only have one type of weapon that can damage it, and it's the worst type of weapon ever. It's the vertical missile, and it barely. Sometimes it hits, but the thing is that you have limited ammo, and it's only one character that actually has the weapon for that has that particular weapon, and his ammo is limited. So I gave a secondary character that very same that same type of weaponry, and I also upgraded it so just to make sure that the character is able to fully utilize the weapon. Right? Here comes the third wave. They're armored, which is the worst part about this game. Worst about these enemies is that they're armored. And the thing is about the third mission, the second wave of enemies are armored up. So I can't do much. I can't really do much damage. Alright, so that's one enemy. I don't have enough. I don't think I have enough energy to get to that purple. Gotcha. Right? Let's cripple you. Let's cripple you again. Right. I'm low. I'm only having a low because I'm only talking. I think I'll actually raise volume up and actually stop talking. I don't think I have anything more to say until like maybe the next mission. So.
10% です。移動用のエナジーは 残り 60% です。移動用のエナジーは残り移動用のエナジーは残り 80% です。移動用のエナジーは残り 60% です。移動用のエナジーは残り 40% です。移動用のエナジーは 10% です。移動用のエナジーは残り 80% です。残り 10% です。 成功おめでとうございます。
costs nothing. Alright, so this is the enemy I was talking about, where basically you have to, so like with that enemy, you can't just destroy the body. Wow, really? You can't just destroy the body. You have to damage all parts of the body in order to completely defeat the enemy. This is going to be hard. All I got is this. So, and I'm going to so I gotta break his armor and I gotta break his legs in order to completely defeat this enemy. Even though all of his health will be depleted in the body, it still won't end. Wow, it still won't end the turn for the enemy. I mean, it won't actually end for the enemy. It won't end at all. The battle won't end because the enemy has no health. You gotta take out the entire body. The body and the legs, otherwise. Now I got no gauge, and that will be it.
動用のエナジーは残り 10% です。
And that was the battle with the reason why I had to re-record the battle. Because that particular enemy, you had to destroy all parts. And for some reason, well, the developers didn't really put up, didn't really develop a way where you can see the enemy's health for each part of their bodies until you're actually engaging in a firefight. Unlike in front mission, if you selected and you move your cursor towards the enemy, you would see what parts of the machines of your enemy unit would have health on it. With this, they didn't do that. Instead, it's little hexagons with colored that's colored coordinate, which displays health and damage, but it doesn't display the full bar, like, again, when you're in the firefight. So you don't really know what you're aiming at. So when I wound up firing at this particular enemy, you saw that all of its parts had 0 health, but it was still up. The reason why the battle finished because it seemed like the head is also different from the body, so you had to destroy, again, like I said earlier, different parts of it. You had to destroy both back legs and front legs, the head and then the body, in order to actually completely defeat this particular enemy. And it took an hour plus just to defeat this enemy. I don't know what's going on with Neil with his arm getting blown off all the damn time, but that enemy that was on top of that pipe, he's the reason why I had to re-record the videos like 3 times, because I had characters that just couldn't reach that particular enemy. And what I ended up doing earlier was wasting a whole lot of ammo shooting at the turrets. Shooting at the turrets, and most of the characters, didn't have any more ammo left to actually hit him. And the only character that had ammo was the one with Alma, who had the missiles. But being the fact that the game is the geometry is coded to the point where bullets and ballistic weaponry can't clip through solid matter, through the geometry. That's what I had to deal with. So this is basically the end. There is no more mission. There's only 3 missions in this game. Now, you're kind of wondering, what is this skirmish part here? So, let's go to the beginning map. With skirmish, what it is basically an infinite loop of enemies spawning in, but you earn the lowest amount of credits per skirmish. So one battle you'll gain 500 credits, maybe 1,000, depending on how far you keep going. So basically you can rack up a whole lot of points because the enemy unit AI is pretty slow, so you're just earning credits. You'll be earning credits slowly. Well, it's basically a gamble, and if you somehow lose any of those skirmishes, you lose the credits that you earn, and also negative credits that you didn't earn. So like, I call her Alma, yeah. Now, what I think what the developers should do is create a different slew of character portraits to display emotion, because the way how Alma looks, she looks kind of like a flat drawing. There's no real emotion. She doesn't look emotional, she just looks a little cold. But this is early access, so hopefully they're fixing that. Hopefully they actually fix the AI when it comes to these skirmishes, and also in the story mode too, because a lot of the enemies tend to just run around and not fire at you, just wasting time. Tell you the truth, I would rather have them put in a way just to skip enemy animation altogether instead of fast forwarding it. Because fast forwarding, all it really does, it just basically wastes more time, and it doesn't really make much of a difference anyway. So I would rather a real fast forward system, or just cut it out altogether. Robots. One thing I really don't like is that everything can be upgraded, from your legs to your body to your battery pack to your shoulders, and depending on what the item is, certain parts will be upgraded. So it's not always going to be defense, GP, attack, and all. It will be like totally random. Well, it's a set It's a set amount of what. There's a particular skill that gets upgraded, not the whole thing. So you'll have an item that will have high critical, while you have another item that has high attack. And I'm not really sure why the legs have to be upgraded. I mean, yeah, upgraded, but the game really doesn't need to do all of that. I mean, I have no reason. But I kind of really don't want to play this mode. I'm just gonna show off what happens when you defeat one of the units. Horn. Purple ones are energy. And then the AP points. Alright. Unit down. So I earned 2,000 points. I can choose to leave, or I can go with the next wave. And you're gambling, really. So a character has to go over there. Let's see. And they need to take the ammo. I hate when I get stuck in the geometry. I cannot wait until these tanks show up in the story mode. Now with the vertical pistol, it actually shoots three missiles at a target at a time, while the vertical missile only fires one. Now, and some of the upgrades actually allow you to put skills in your action wheel, which is on the launch missile. This is your action wheel. So I have a normal slash because of the sword that she has in her that Iwasawa has in her hand. But she has a skill, the vertical slash and the side slash. Doesn't really do. I can't really say it does anything, to tell you the truth, but anything that helps. Let's see. Wow. Well, that's ammo, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so you can attach abilities to the action wheel, but sometimes their skills take up too much of your AP and energy gauge, and you won't know, and I'm not able to use certain skills until I get a better energy pack. But there's really no way to tell which energy pack is better for you, because again, the UI is just too damn small, and the gauge is really confusing. So the ones I have seem like the better option since they're cheaper, but the ones that might be high caliber, they cost more, and experimental. A lot of these battles take too long to just, playing and try to see how I can see how much points I can accumulate so I can buy the extra weapon. You know, the other energy pack. I think with this one also, you do earn parts in the main mode. This particular mode, you do not get any parts for your enemies. You basically destroy the enemies and that's it. But oh god, that was too close. But also, there's a lot of graphical slowdown. I don't know if it's because of my computer, which it shouldn't be memory, or it's because the game itself. There's a lot of action in this game. There's a lot of movements on it. I'm pretty sure there's got to be something like the engine, the game engine itself is a problem. And I love how this moves, but it's so hard to steer and navigate. 移動用のエナジーは残り 40% です。移動用のエナジーは残り 10% です。Alright, we got the gauge, so. That's the enemy's turn. I hate being in Midtown sometimes. Homeless are such a problem. Well, the ones that are mentioned, that's a different subject. That's not for this video. So we're gonna do one more wave and I'm gonna officially quit. That will end. Once I do that, that will conclude this video. But each of the 3 missions, available missions, have a skirmish mode where just enemy units just infinitely spawn. And every single stuff. They almost look like Decepticons, but I do like the colors. Oh wow, they right here in my face. Hell. My thing is that I don't like how the aiming cursor is. You know, it should just stay as the circle instead of just this line. Or it should be a lot bigger or thicker. Why is my gauge so low? Like I have no gauge. Alright. I'm aiming at your back. But I really wish you could have earn their parts. That you can get not only just their weapons, but you can get their arms and their legs, I believe. I think, yeah, you get their arms. But it happened in the last battle. Get their parts. It just takes long. Yeah, either that or it was from the Kusanagi unit that we went to go, in previous mission that we went to go see. You get parts for that. We already got parts for the Kusanagi unit in the shop, and I have basically almost everybody with the Kusanagi unit parts. I believe it's the legs and the arms of the Kusanagi unit. Either that or no, the Kusanagi unit legs are too small and they're too heavy. Hey, I'm gonna share something with you. Don't put your hands on it. Ow. What was that about? Goodness.
移動用のエナジーは 10% 移動用のエナジーは残り
Engage and aim at you. These yellow skills are defensive. Now, what I was trying to explain earlier is that one of the characters, I gotta readjust his action wheels because this yellow icon basically skips your turn and allows you to counter attack in defense instead of counter attacking in attack, whatever. But every time I press the arm trigger and forget to move his action wheel, it skips his turn. So let's go with this. Okay. All right, we got an armless unit. That's the end of that chapter. I like the colors that I made for him. Alright, it's sword time! Actually, it's pike time. I don't know if allowing it to go all the way is how we're supposed to do it, or let's see.
移動用のエナジーは 10% です。移動用のエナジーは 40% です。
Should at least make the head a different color. Yeah, so just like in front mission, enemy with no arms or no legs, so it's basically a sitting duck. I have two different submachine guns, and what I want to do with this character is allow her to have have a different set. Alright, so that's wave 3. I already got 100,000, so I'll be taking my points. That's it. Yeah, that's funny thing. I was trying to design Alma's unit as Inaho's unit from Aldnoah Zero. So I'll splice this video with the previous video, and then that's it. And we'll just wait until the next then the next update for this game, where it will be in full release. So first I want to buy a weapon. Let's see. See, this window's too small. I can't see it. It's got to be bigger than this. Nakaru. See, everything is just too small. I'm guessing they're expecting you to be, the player, to be playing on a large monitor, but they gotta update this. This whole user interface here is too small. It's unacceptable. Now some of the characters, ooh, wow, what the heck? We got 4 submachine guns? I just wasted on money on that. Wait a minute. Accuracy. Ooh, wow. But it's 20 grand. Oh, and an assault rifle. Ooh, better side shields. Ooh, a huge cannon. Ooh. Ooh. Uh-oh. Alright, I'll upgrade one of the other characters to have this weapon. Let's go with back parts, see what we can do with that. See what the characters can do with this. Info. You know what? No. I'm not gonna experiment with that, but then that means okay, so let's go here. Whose weapon do I want to upgrade? Not you. No. Got dual of those weapons. I don't want her with the fist anymore. She's gonna need a gun, so no more fist weapons. This game plays just like Front Mission. I just can't wait until the characters have more skill. Alright. And let's upgrade it. Ooh, accuracy and range. Highest. Damn, how high can it go? Alright, that gauge ain't moving. He's got a pike. I can give him a new weapon. He don't need this rifle anymore. Wow, and his rifle sucks anyway. I haven't been advancing it, so it makes it better to sell it then. But he needs this weapon. Let's upgrade it before I equipped it with him. I didn't mean to give him a vertical missile. That can go. There we go. Okay, and that's about it. So you can also put decals like army decals and even stickers. Just the UI is just so small, but whatever. Let's change the color of this guy's head. Well, that's about it. I'm done with this. So, thank you for watching my video on Dual Gear during early access. Hopefully I piqued enough interest in this game that you guys might want to go out and play this. Purchase it in early access or wait for the game to fully come out and play it for yourselves. I'm kind of interested in the story. You know, when this game comes out, I'm pretty sure the story will actually make sense and you won't just go on random mission after random mission. There's a plot here somewhere. I mean, if they're creating super soldiers that can use a dual gear system that basically overloads the pilot's mind, that means some dark stuff is happening in the shadows, and I cannot wait to find out where the story is gonna go, because that's kind of awesome. with Front Mission, they had particular characters called numbers and imaginary numbers. And with imaginary numbers, their battle tendency in battle stats were visually measured, whereas the imaginary numbers, their battle capabilities, tendencies could rise without being detected. So it was like they could either perform better or worse, or actually more better each battle, and they were more of a serious threat because they were like basically super soldiers. So some of them were like extremely intelligent, where they were engineers or they were like Wanzer pilots. And in Front Mission 3, because this is where they were introduced, I believe, there were two story paths where one character, I believe his name was Lou. If you did the Emma storyline, where Emma goes missing. I mean, no, not when Emma goes missing. Where the main character, Kazuki's sister, goes missing, and you are teamed up with Emma. You get a character named Lou, who basically he's your ally, and so are the imaginary numbers. The numbers and the imaginary numbers. However, there's a plot that the game's story that particular past story doesn't tell, and he orders the characters to kill a particular character named Frankenstein, who is an imaginary number who happens to be an engineer. However, if you do the B storyline, where Emma is the one taken, or I think, damn, I forgot what the B storyline. What's the real difference? The real difference is that you have a different set of missions. But with this one, in that particular mission, the character Lou is your enemy, and you're going up against the DHZ Lao Nation, and Lou is your enemy, and you face off against a whole army of the imaginary numbers, the numbers and the imaginary numbers. However, the slight change of the biggest change of it is that it actually explains exactly what kind, who are the numbers, what are the imaginary numbers, and what does that actually mean. And the one called Frankenstein that was ordered to be assassinated in the previous story branch, he is given some type of explanation about him and exactly what he was, why he was fleeing the country and everything. But it's kind of hard to determine which ending is actually better for the game. The only difference is that with the B story plot is that you get a secret Wanzer, whereas the A story plot, you don't know how there's no way to access that particular Wanzer, even with the codes. Although you actually get better characters with the B storyline than you do with the A storyline, I believe. That you get this really cool character. I think her name is Rachel. She's a sniper. Oh man, the skills, man. If I can get this PlayStation emulator working, because for some reason Windows 10 keeps erasing the emulator application, and my save file keeps going to the garbage somewhere. Man. But anyway, thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned where I'll be finishing Daemon X Machina and some other games as well. Yeah. Bye.